This course is brought to you by AppyPie as part of our Academy series.
In this video, let's talk about when and how to get funding for your apps. I realize it's not fun to be struggling financially. I realize that apps need money for marketing, for development, and it's not fun to have that stress that you're probably experiencing. But also there's a truth here is that it's hard to raise money for apps. It just is hard. So often app entrepreneurs have to wait longer than they'd like before they start seeing financial success or freedom or investment. That's just a part of it. So let's go over the options you have. So you have a list of startup investors and mobile app investors on a site like angellist.com. It's an industry standard site. Also, smaller investments than InvestorGive can be given out by incubators, and incidentally, a list of incubators is listed on angellist.com/incubators. So you want to browse that and apply to the incubators. Now you'll notice that here I wrote angellist.com, here I wrote angel.co. A lot of the variations of their domain names redirect to the same thing. So I would just go to angellist.com/incubators, but I gave you that angellist.co just as an example to show you that all these variations of their domains redirect to the same thing. And by the way, in this video, when I give you resources for websites, some of them work in the United States, some of them work in Europe. Wherever you are, I don't know where you're located. So let's say you're looking for investors. Well, let's say you're looking at investors in Mexico or another country. Well, just search Google for investors, app investors in Mexico or startup incubators in Mexico so that it makes sense for wherever you are, because I cannot do this video for every country in the world separately. Another option is for you to take loans. Loans to start a business are not a good idea. Nevertheless, a lot of entrepreneurs resort to that. I don't recommend it, but if you end up wanting to do that anyway, getting a loan from a bank for a mobile app is not a possibility until it generates a significant amount of revenue, typically around $4,000 to $6,000 a month. That's where you can start getting legitimate business loans. If you're before that, then you can go to crowd lending sites like lendio.com or prosper.com, and it might be a little easier for you to get a loan. Again, loans are risky. If your startup doesn't succeed, then you lost that money and you have to pay back the loan, so you kind of lost double. Other sites I'm sure you're aware of are crowdfunding sites. These are Indiegogo.com or Kickstarter. Another site is GoFundMe.com, and I like that one because it doesn't have an expiring due date for your fundraising campaign. You can fundraise perpetually, which is good. And of course, you can raise money from friends and family, or you can have a job or a part-time job and save money from that job, which is actually guaranteed money, as opposed to all these other places. You can spend your time applying to incubators, contacting investors, doing crowdfunding, but you might not get anything. So working and getting savings is the actual sure way to make sure that you actually get some money in the end. That's actually what I did. I didn't ask anyone for money really. I just saved money from my job, and then when I needed to take time to work on my app, I had savings, and that's really what I did. So that's what I also recommend to others. And of course, if you raise money from friends and family, be extremely careful with their money. I probably would not recommend this, although of all these options, it's one of the easier ways to get money because friends and family will let you get some money. But most people don't like mixing friends and family in business, and also you want to be careful with their money as well. Now, a few things about investors, because investors are probably the hottest topic in app fundraising. Everybody wants to get an investment. And what do they want? Well, they're looking for a proven team of more than one person, typically, a large billion-dollar market, or at least a very large multi-$100 million market. And they want to see a unique, innovative product. So if you have a puzzle app or not an exciting game or something like, kind of not breakthrough, then maybe the investors aren't the option, because they do look for some really difficult criteria, because otherwise it's just difficult for them to justify their risk of investing in very risky investments. And another very important thing, a lot of students in this course that I talk to, when I talk to them about raising money and I say, hey, you need to show traction. Investors want to see traction and real engagement. And the answer I typically get is, well, I have 1,000 people or 2,000 people on my app and they're using the app. But then when I quiz them further, they say, well, they're not doing much on the app. Maybe they play a little on the game. Maybe they make an account. So you have some accounts, you have some emails, but they're not actually coming back to the app. That's a really commonly recurring theme for new app entrepreneurs who launch their app, get a little bit of downloads, few thousand, maybe few tens of thousands, but then the people aren't really using the app. And then the engagement is not real engagement. There's numbers, you can show numbers like a lot of downloads, but they're not really good downloads. And so an investor would say, well, you're failing your app business so far because they're not coming back. A lot of people are quitting the app. So it's like you literally prove that it's failing. So what you have to do before you seek out investment, monitor the behavior of your users and fix the bugs and make the features better, make the app easier to get onboarded, make the app like kind of get people using the app and coming back. And when you show that in increasing numbers, that's traction, that's engagement, and then it gets interest of investors. Because you can kind of fool them and fudge the numbers a little bit to make it look like you're getting downloads, but really, if the downloads aren't quality downloads, that's more proof that you shouldn't get investment or you're too early. And so you've got to work on making sure that people are truly using that app all the time and coming back, and that's true engagement, and that's perhaps the biggest test of, is your app ready for funding?